This is Module 1, Lesson 13, homework, and I'll just go through each type of problem since there's quite a few on this one. So number 1A, if we're looking at finding three groups of how many tenths is 1 and 5 tenths. So what we've been looking at is turning our number that we're trying to divide into, so like right here, we have how many times does 3 go into 1 and 5 tenths? We've been looking at this 1 and 5 tenths, not as 1 and 5 tenths, but as 15 tenths. So the 10 tenths from the whole and 5 tenths extra, so that we know that 15 tenths divided by 3 equals 5 tenths. And then they could say that 3 groups of 5 tenths is 1 and 5 tenths. So 3 groups of 5 tenths is 1 and 5 tenths. And then to put it in standard form, we could say that 1 and 5 tenths divided by 3 is 5 tenths. So we're just needing to be able to see the multiple of 3 in this number, or the multiple of 6 is 24, or that 45 is a multiple of 5 in letter C. For number 2, it's having you rename the units for each decimal in order to find multiples of the divisor. So if we're looking here, they've already kind of divided up for us so that we know that there are a certain number of ones, and we're going to divide that by 3. Then after we take those ones, there's a certain number of hundredths. So when we take away our ones and we have 9 ones, we have 36 hundredths left in that problem. 36 also happens to be a multiple of 3. So then we can go ahead and do our division. 9 ones divided by 3 is 3 ones. 36 hundredths divided by 3 is 12 hundredths. And then we can write that in standard form, that being 3 and 12 hundredths. It leads them to go through that same process. Down here at the bottom, it just takes it away. But they still want them to figure out how you're going to rename the units in order to divide. So I'll do C as well. So if we have 3 and 55 hundredths and we divide it by 5, we know that they want us to do tenths and hundredths, so that we would have 35 tenths and then 5 hundredths left over. And then you would have to do it still keeping those units right here, and then write it in standard form down at the bottom. On B, they want you to go through that same process, but without any help. Finding the multiples of 5 in 3 and 545 thousandths. For number 3, letter A, it says find the quotients, then use words, numbers, or pictures to describe any relationship you notice between the two pairs of problems and quotients. So 21 divided by 7 is 3, and then 2 and 1/10 divided by 7 is 21 tenths divided by 7, which equals 3 tenths, which equals 0 and 3 tenths. So now they want us to say to use numbers, words, or pictures to describe any relationship you notice between the pair of problems and quotients. So what they want us to see is that this equation is 1/10 the size of this equation. Well, not the whole equation, just the whole. So 2 and 1/10 is 1/10 the size of 21. So we could say that 2 and 1/10 is 1/10 the size of 21, making the quotient 1/10 the size also. That would be how those two problems are related. When we go down to number 4, we're looking to see if these are reasonable. Would it be reasonable to say that 6 goes into 54 hundredths 9 times? Well, no, it wouldn't be, because 54 hundredths is less than 6, so it doesn't even go in once. So I cannot have a whole number as my answer because 6 doesn't even fit in there one time. So it would be a decimal as your answer. And the same thing for B. You need to explain them with really great sentences. Then I'll just do one of the word problems. I'll do that top one. A toy airplane costs $4.84. It costs 4 times as much as a toy car. What is the cost of the toy car? So if you took $4.84 and you divided it by 4, you would have to take this, and it would be easier to make this, to split this apart into tenths and hundredths, because I see that 48 is a multiple of 4. I know that 48 tenths divided by 4 plus 4 hundredths divided by 4 will give me my answer. 4 goes into 48 12 times, so I have 12 tenths plus 1 hundredth, and I got my 1 hundredth by saying 4 hundredths divided by 4. And then I can write that in standard form. 1 and 2 tenths plus 0 and 0, 1. That gives me 1 and 21 hundredths. That's the cost of one toy car. And that's how we are dividing decimals by whole numbers.